It's very important for the city of Thessaloniki to participate in the exchange network. We don't know everything in the city, so we need to be in contact and understand what other cities have been doing and in dealing with issues of immigration and refugee flows. And even if we cannot replicate their solutions, we get inspired in order to think creatively and innovatively in solutions for our local context.
For me, it is important that we're doing this exchange network for Athens. It's important because Athens, in my mind, is all the time, it has this identity in my mind often of being asking for help and asking for NGO support and for EU funding and for this and for that. For me, this is like an initiative that Athens is taking to bring together something that goes beyond asking for something for the city itself, but it's kind of pooling resources with other cities to together become valuable for many, many more.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, it's very important to see what other cities are doing in terms of migration, how they are dealing with the increase in number of people in their cities. It's very important to get another views for solutions, how people are reacting to migrants and how they are providing services. It's different from one city to one city, but there are certain guidelines that can be implemented in most cities with tailor-made for each city with different implementation and different actions can be taken. But there are certain guidelines can be implemented anywhere.
It's very important for Paris to be here in Athens now to work on this refugee issue, to think about the future, because to be honest, compared to the situation in Athens or in other countries, the situation is not that bad in Paris. Of course, we have refugees, but they consider Paris just as a stopover, and the number of refugees is less important than in other countries. But we think that in the future, the number of refugees will increase considerably everywhere in the world, especially because of climate change. And so we have to prepare our city. And here we can benefit from the experience of other cities who are already used to face this kind of problem, especially the Greek cities, Athens and Thessaloniki, but also cities from other continents. And we're especially interested, and I'm not saying that because Santiago is here, we're really interested in Medellin experience, because Medellin is known, famous all over the world for its strong commitment in social cohesion policies that totally change the city and the life of the citizens. And so we are really getting inspired by the strategies that were just released in Medellin.
Montreal is a land of, it's a welcome land. Like we've been built with immigrants, and we have people coming in our country like constantly. So we have to plan ahead and to be sure that they'll be well integrated and be part of a society. So that's why it's so important for us.
The city of Los Angeles is a city of immigrants, and we have people from more than 150 countries speaking 220 languages, and we highlighted today that 44% of our small business owners are immigrants.
Well, I think being with this really amazing groups coming from different cities like Medellin and other cities can really open our eyes and minds on some really of the solutions. How we can really help in the social cohesion between refugees and the cities around them. How we can really create more economic opportunities with them. How we can actually even integrate them politically without compromising their political rights. So the amount of learning that is really shared in this meeting with the exchange program of 100 resilient cities is of a great experience. And also we had the chance to share our own experiences with this chronic problem that we had with the Palestinian refugees. So this is really important for us.
For Medellin, it's very important to be in this type of knowledge exchange programs, because we have the opportunity not only to share what we have learned in the past 2 decades, but also to learn from current situations that are happening in Athens, but also in Los Angeles and in other cities. It's always a lot to learn, and one of the main lessons that we learn here is we have not been able as a city to fulfill the needs of our internal displaced population. And challenges that Athens and Thessaloniki and other cities are facing, they could come back in different forms in our city in terms of internal migration and displacement. And it's very important to always be open to new forms of solutions and best practices that we can learn from other cities.